Hey everybody, this is Anthony Bowe with the Shop Magazine. We're here in the Shell booth at the SEMA show. This interview is sponsored by Alliant Insurance Services. They offer packages to lower your shop risk and cost of insurance. Right now we're with Mark Gessler with the Historic Vehicle Association. Mark, HVA. How you doing, Mark?
Doing excellent.
Good.
Another good morning out here at SEMA.
Right. So we're standing in front of a pretty incredible vehicle right now. Can you describe where we're standing?
We are in front of the Mustang Bullitt. So, I mean, you got Mustangs. I mean, Mustang is the number one sports car in the world, and this arguably is the number one Mustang of all time.
Number one. You heard it here.
Well, 559 is what was in the Bullitt movie. I mean, this is the car that Steve McQueen drove, and you know, it is in original condition, basically from the day that it was driven back then all the way to now, and not much has been changed on the vehicle, which is incredible.
That is incredible. So it's obviously a significant vehicle, but tell me why it's significant for HVA.
Well, this is arguably one of the most iconic cars of all time. Iconic chase scenes. I mean, it changed the way we do movies and car movies, and Steve McQueen, one of the all-time just great actors, and you know, it's an American thing, right? So it's the association with that movie and that person of significance. We put it on the National Historic Vehicle Register. It was the 21st car. It's been photographed, digitized, and an enormous write-up about this. It's all now in the Library of Congress, and that's meant to be around in perpetuity for the American people and, frankly, for all the world. So this is something 500 years from now, when they look back, it'll be documented right.
Right. So tell me about HVA a little bit more and why people need to know about it.
Well, we're out to share America's automotive history with the American people. And, I mean, if you think about it, the automobile has shaped really our lives and virtually every aspect about how we live. And maybe if you think about it today, you know, whether it's the iPhone or, you know, iPhone is shaping how we live, the automobile shaped that. And when we're talking about things like the Smithsonian, you know, the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, where, I mean, imagine most of the public has been to see, well, it's the most visited museum in the country. But if you think about how many people work there on aerospace and in our aviation history, about 350 people that work there. When it comes to the automotive side at the Smithsonian, there's one. So we put together our organization to fill that gap. We're working with Department of Interior and Library of Congress, much like they've worked on the National Register for Historic Places. But we now document America's automotive history, and we're out to tell great stories like like this Mustang and its association with the Kiernan family, who has owned it from way back 1974 and kept it original and brought it out on the 50th anniversary. It's been it's been one of these things. Everybody, it was rumored to exist, and frankly, nobody knew for sure. Right. I mean, except a handful of people. And it was actually here at the Shell booth. So we're out here at SEMA. We're under we're at the Shell Performance area. And 2 years ago, Sean came to me, and we're in the back room here, back press room, and we started talking about the program and everything. And I mean, this is a family secret. And so he reluctantly sort of showed a couple people, and we were able to connect here at SEMA from the Shell booth to the folks at Ford, and that's what kicked this whole program off, which led to the launch this year at the North American International Auto Show, Detroit Auto Show for most folks, and that was a surprise to the world. It's been a whirlwind since then.
Right. Any idea what vehicles will be put in the National Register for 2019?
Yeah, so we're working on a number of other great stories. Everybody says every year, what is it going to be? Can you top that? And we've had things like Gypsy Rose, which sort of shocked people, and the lowriders and stuff. So we've got some other things brewing this year, and I think it's going to be a fantastic show. I mean, the great stories that emanate, that really sort of reach out to everybody. I mean, people love to hear that Sean's mom drove this as a third grade Catholic school teacher in New Jersey. I mean, that's a great story, in itself, and just how it got here. It's those kinds of stories that people want to hear, and it reaches out beyond car guys to the American public, and it's making that kind of exposure, which is, helps maintain this as part of our culture.
Right. So the definition of what a hot rod is seems to always be changing, and it might depend on who you're talking to. What's a hot rod?
Well, I mean, a hot rod is anything where you're actually elevating the performance, in my mind. So it's taking something stock, it's elevating the performance, and if that's done in period or if it's done retro or however it is, that makes it a hot rod in our book. So I mean, and we're looking at hot rods, we're looking at customs, we're looking at stock cars. We're looking at all, and all those genres have a place in the work that we do. But there's a few special cars out there like this that you just, I mean, it's it's a touchstone to our past, touchstone to American past, and it's got iconic brands like Mustang and McQueen involved with it. I mean,
right. So this is the end of our interview, but is there anything you'd like to plug for our audience or let them know?
I just as you're out here, if you make it out to SEMA, if you're out here, guys, take a closer look at this car because one of the things is that Sean Kieran has been out here. It was his entire career.
Yeah.
He's the guy that owns the car, and he's been out here, and he's never been able to say anything about this car. And of course, everything out here is beautifully finished. Everybody's focused on how well they're doing it. And here you've got a car that's unrestored. It's bringing a lot of people by to take a look at that, and
right.
really amazed with it.
Yeah, awesome, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you.